Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard. Welcome also for a few of our co-founder members that are on this call. We have here Javier. We have here Aaron. He's a new co-founder member that joined this week. He will lead along with Thomas as well, that is also on this call. They're going both to lead business development, but from different angle. And we have also Daria here that's also leading the business development for the.
I got green hair now, forever.
Oh, Nancy, maybe you want to unmute everybody in the meantime? I mean, mute everybody. All right. So, okay, so what we're going to talk about today, like Betsy says, is we're going to talk about the Damper Shield. Those that do not know me, my name is Yoda. I'm the founder and the CEO of Quantum Foundation. I am based in Silicon Valley in California. In my history, I'm in blockchain for many, many years, but actually decided to create solution to the blockchain industry after I've been stolen, hacked 3 times when I purchased my Bitcoin, start from the early days all the way forward. And I kind of got a sick from being positioned that people take advantage, people scamming, people kind of building stuff that they're not really solving any issues. And Banksy, can you mute everyone? All right. And yeah, so our focus is basically to build solution on the blockchain, but our approach is to utilize quantum finance models, which is extremely new approach. And we took on ourselves a big mission, very big mission, which is basically disrupting, not improving, but disrupting every angle of the blockchain using that.
You're
No
muted,
one
Yoda.
can hear you, mate.
Yeah, you're muted, Yoda.
Yoda, it seems like you got muted, so maybe you
Yeah.
can mute on.
Yeah, and you look like Bono from U2 at the moment, mate.
No, still.
Yeah, Yoda, you're still muted.
Oh my God, Banksy muted me too. Okay, all right. How far did you hear me, if any?
The last thing we heard, Yoda, was that you were not just going to improve but disrupt the blockchain and the
All
industry.
right, all right. Hey, Laurie, welcome aboard. Laurie is also one of our co-founders that's leading the NFT protection new exchange. Yeah, so basically,
MGM, everyone.
as I said, we are focusing on building disrupting solutions that are going to disrupt the industry and building a better way for everybody to be involved, especially to open the door for mass adoption. And in my life, I built a lot of companies. I built actually 5 companies with 3 exits. And there is something I learned is that when you build something, you're probably going to get it wrong. That's the foundation of every startup that you build. There is no one ecosystem or one unicorn in the earth that becomes to be so big without basically going through pivot and mistake and changing. And that's the key. The key is to understand what you're doing, start to build, get to know what you're doing wrong, and keep pivoting. And it's requiring a lot of attention. It's requiring a lot of patience. It's requiring a lot of avoiding noises and avoiding suggestion, because everybody can tell you what you're doing wrong or what they think that you can do, but they come in with approaches what they think you can do when it comes to cookie cutter, because everybody know what they know. It's like Henry Ford. Henry Ford say, if I will listen to people, they will tell me that they need fast horses and not car, because in their brain they don't know what car it is. So we understand that there is problem industry. Everybody understands that there is problem. But when we coming to the table, we're coming with new approaches and we have to test them. We have to check them. We have to see that the market fit scalable. And frankly, all that building take a lot of time. Even the Damper Shield, which is not one of our biggest protocol, by the way, it took us almost 2 to 3 years to play with that and got it right, and more than $1 million cost, right? So it takes time to build something that is new. But that being said, our approach is to be first to the market, meaning that we not build anything that is a copycat, no meme coin, no Dogecoin, no take somebody else code, changing the logo and call it banana swap. We're actually building stuff new, and there is a high risk when you build something new, because it's either worth nothing or it's changing the game and take the market and lead the way, because we are creating new market, new approach. But this is our approach, to be first to the market, and it's come with high risk. So there is no guarantee of success whatsoever. Actually, I will be more clear. Most likely, everybody going to lose their money. That's how, when you're investing in startup or investing in general, you need to approach stuff, because statistically, 98% of all startup fails, statistically. So the statistic is against us all the time, against everybody. And we try to beat the statistic by being first to market, by creating something new, but also keep pivoting, keep doing it right. And obviously, we have a new approach, as you know, everyone, that will allow everybody to move between different projects. So if one project didn't make it, you can still teleport to a different project. Or if some of the project made it significantly, but there is no enough daily trading, so you can still teleport some of your holding to different projects in order to exit from there. So that being said, let's jump into the Damper Shield, understand what's going on, what is the big deal, what problem is solving, why the Damper Shield has the potential to be probably one of the biggest exchange that has ever been made. I will show you everything, and let's see if it makes sense to you. Again, this conversation is not about fundraising. We are not going to talk about fundraising. So it's not an investment call. It's basically explaining the technology. There is no investment advice over here. So it's just to understand what we're building and what we are planning to do. The first thing I want to start, let me share my screen. And let me know, everyone, if you can see it. All right, tell me if you can see it. And I will pin that. Okay.
I can, Yoda.
Yeah, we can see.
All right, great. Okay, so what is the Damper Shield? What is it designed for? What's the purpose of that? Let me start from the basic, okay? When a project basically being created, and at the moment it doesn't matter if it's a good project or bad project, or if it's copycat or brand new code that never been done before. There is other aspects that need to take under consideration when the project goes live. Beside the code and the technology that need to perform, they need to have also go to market, right? Need to be marketing. Everybody talking about marketing, and some people even say marketing is even more important than the project. Project can die, but at least people can come and buy and sell, and as long as they're thinking that it will be worth something, it will keep pumping. And AKA, you can see Dogecoin, there is nothing behind it. There is nothing. But obviously, people still believe that maybe there will be. So marketing is very important, maybe even above the technology, right? As long as the belief is still there. But what is missing, which is above them both, right, is basically the plan of the psychology, right? The psychology is actually everything. It's above the marketing, it's above the technology. The psychology is everything. And what I mean by psychology is that if everybody believes that something will go up, or if everybody believes that something going down, they will comply with that belief. And that will pump stuff and dump stuff. And it doesn't matter if the technology or the marketing was good. You can have zero marketing, zero technology. You can launch, I don't know what people launch during the years, but there was more than one example how stuff become to be from nothing, like Shiba, to everything, right? And that's because people believe, right? Now, what trigger people believe? Because there was no conference call that people sit on a call and talk with each other. Definitely, they don't go to Cointelegraph to read what they believe that people believe. So they follow the numbers, they follow the charts, they look on the chart, and they try to assess whether or not is it going down, go up, if people bullish or if they're bearish or what's going on. And basically, chart is very simple. Every chart driving from buying pressure and selling pressure. Theoretically, if you don't have a buying pressure, let's say during a bear market, the graph will go down. If you have a buying pressure and not much sell pressure, the graph will go up. Now, when every project going to the market, it tried to delay the selling pressure, right? It tried to say, oh, let me put you in investing, or let me, after the vesting, put you in some lock staking. So they try to defer basically the selling pressure, and they even try to break it down to say group number one will buy the token at big discount, but they will be locked for longer than group number two that will buy it at less discount, that will be released first. And they try to play with that. And if you're thinking about it, basically all the plan, everything that people build is kind of try to assume or plan how the market will play. They try to think what the future will look like. That's what this vesting plan is all about, right? Everybody go to experts and say, build me a vesting schedule. How the heck can you enroll in SEC, 9/11, Black Swan event, maybe Binance going down? How can you enroll anything that is not something that you know that you can know? You cannot. And besides that, those that do investing, they don't take under consideration that if the token going to appreciate too much, because it's also something that you cannot know, right? If somebody launching a token and say, hey, I'm going to have 10x potentially, and let's assume that you have 100x. Do you understand that if this project sold 20 or 30% of the token as a pre-sale, and on top of that, there is the advisor, and there is the team, and there is the marketing, and there is the airdrop, you're getting into 50 to 80, if not even 90% tokens that will come back to the market as a selling pressure with not 10x, maybe 100x. And what they have left is liquidity that is 10% to support that, not 90%, but 90,000% now. So how it's possible that a fat person can do piggybacking on a skinny guy? It's not possible. It doesn't work. Physically, it doesn't fit. You cannot launch to the market a project with $100 selling pressure when you have buying pressure of $1. It doesn't work. And because it doesn't work, there is more selling than buying, and probably you saw it again and again. You saw every chart going up, very beautiful, either 5x, 10x, 100x, zillion, babillion x. Mostly it's a fake X, because they don't put a lot of liquidity in the pool, so every $100 or $1,000 move the needle. And then when people want to sell because they think that they've done 100x, guess what? There is only room or liquidity for one person, two person, three person. I mean, who you think stay behind, pay the bill? The answer is the non-sophisticated people that come and basically bought into that because they don't understand how stuff works. Most likely, whoever take the liquidity first is the founder and the team and whoever have a quick finger and know-how, okay? And I'm not even counting the boat and all those that shooting those transaction and fund running them. So basically, it's a very messed stuff. Now, I want to show you something that someone of the people I know sent it to me. He sent me this tokenomic that belongs to this company, AI World. You see this tokenomic? Can you still see my screen, right? Everyone can still see my screen, right?
Yeah, we can still see the screen, Yoda.
Right.
Sorry, Banks, he was interrupting you.
All right, so he sent me this company, which looks sexy. AI World, everybody talking about AI today, so it sounds sexy. It looks like there is no supply, 200 million. Wow, 200 million is nothing. It's not even billion, right? And then everything looks fancy schmancy. There is a seed, private, IEO, public. They even build a lot of numbers from here to Uganda. and there is a nice graph and fireworks and everything looks fancy schmancy, right? So when you're looking at that, you say, oh my God, I want in. I want to buy in. Whatever they're offering, I want to take 2 of that. So now let me show you reality. This is the project, right? Let me log in to the project. Let's do, right? Maximum. This is the project, right? That's where they started. That's 10x that they done, right? And that's today. How many zeros? I don't know, too many to count, right? So we have here 0.00028. Is it 99.7% down?
Yoda, we can't see the chart you're talking about.
Oh, okay. But
All we see is you and you look like Bono.
okay. So
I can see the chart, Banksy. I can
Okay.
see, are you not seeing his shared screen?
No, I guess I'm looking at the wrong. I've got it.
Okay. The chart is
Uh,
working, Yoda, so please continue.
Banksy,
Yeah, I can see
see
it
me
as
as a
well.
Bono is better than chart. Believe me, this chart is terrible. All right.
Yoda, I can see it as well.
So anyway, my point is that the build, whatever the build over here, I will make it smaller maybe so you can see. They build whatever they build here, and they didn't took under consideration everything that I just said. Now, I want you to imagine to yourself that nobody can assume if the project will go down because it will be terrible because the market has been changed, not related to the token, or maybe the token will go down because it become to be so successful and the buying pressure basically cause to people to dump because they want exit because everything's successful. And then people thinking that people not dumping to cash out the investment, they start to see people dumping, and everybody want to front running somebody else because they want to be the first to dump. And basically what's happening is that you have a snowball, and now the narrative has been changed from project that booming to everybody need to leave first the ship before it's sinking. And then reality becomes to be actually the truth of what the token will become. I don't know if this project can recover from that. I think it's dead, right? It cannot recover from something like that. They need to come with fund and do wash trading in order to convince people that there is a belief that there is traffic. And by the way, wash trading is not a bad thing. People thinking it's a bad thing. It's not. Wash trading is that when a company using wash trading, they're basically showing that there is buying and selling, so people believe and develop a belief, and that's how the stock market even works. They believe that there is a buyer and seller, even though there is none. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say to you. Technology is important, marketing is more important, but psychology is above them all. Okay, now how can you create a psychology? How can you design a psychology? Right? What people try to do here doesn't work because it's like analog go-to-market structure that you hope that nothing is going to be changed. But in reality, how it works? What's the name? Murphy Law. You know Murphy Law? Everything changed, right? So whatever you thought, assuming that you will not be like you thought. So how they're going to change in real time? How they're going to go faster to the market or slower to go to the market? How, if something will happen, how they're going to be dynamic? Because they already, that's it. It's fixed. The setup, whatever the setup. And that's where we're coming in. So basically, the Dumper Shield is not only the first of its kind decentralized exchange for vesting token, not vesting, but it's also designed to be a smart vesting solution, right? A smart vesting solution, not traditional analog vesting, but smart vesting solution. And it's designed to expedite people to the market faster if the market can support it. And if the market cannot support and the schedule is about to be due, the people, the investor that about to lose their money can vote if they want to extend the vesting in order to avoid from crashing. I'm pretty much sure that whoever go to the market here would be grateful if he had the ability to keep it high than crashing. Now you need to do, I don't know how many, more than 100x. Now you need to do 1000x just to go back to where it was, okay? So the Dumper Shield, like I said, is doing both. Now let's see how it works. The first thing to understand about the Dumper Shield is that any vesting that you have today in the market, it doesn't matter if it's a cliff vesting, if it's scheduled vesting, if it's every minute, every hour, every day, every 5% every month, whatever you want. We will support all of that. So whatever you have out there, you will have a smart contract for free as a project that you can basically use it. And it's not self-custody. It's not holding the project holding the token and every month give 5% to people and who knows, maybe it will go underwater. No, it's self-custody. You give to people their own tokens behind the Dumper Shield. You set up the schedule and it's self-custody. And then the most important part that the Dumper Shield has is what is called the gateway, okay? The gateway is the main feature of the Dumper Shield. So what is the gateway? The gateway is basically a technology that's designed to expedite vesting token that is under vesting to the market before the schedule is due. So let's assume that you have a token that is supposed to be wait under vesting 12 months. What happened after 12 months when everybody go together to the market? The answer is rest to the bottom, okay? Now, if the project increasing, instead of waiting for everybody to come together like here at once, imagine yourself that here on the way up, every time you take a little bit from the liquidity and you start to basically reducing the selling pressure by buying out people behind the Dumper Shield. So how that works? If people go to the Dumper Shield, there is a basically ability to do OTC, meaning that you're listing your token and you can say to anybody, hey, I have tokens, go ahead and buy them for me if you are patient to wait the vesting time, because I'm not patient. I need my money, I need out. And it's reasonable to understand that some people need money and sometimes they have better opportunity and they want to move into. And other people willing to wait. That's the difference between smart money and stupid money. Those that the patient, they wait. Those that the impatient, they do not wait. And usually on marketplaces, they're hitting the button, like when you go to Binance, you see them all the time hitting sell by market and not by limit. And that's how market makers make money. They're waiting for those impatient users to hit the button market so they can make smart money reward. Now, on the OTC, everybody can list his token for sale at any price. There is no rules because it's not affecting the secondary market. So nobody can tell you if you want to sell the token for double price or half a price or even for free. It's your choice, your money. Now, whoever buys the token from you basically automatically will get into your shoes. He will have a vault. And by the way, I didn't mention, but all the vault behind the Dumper Shield, they are self-custody vault, meaning that we didn't build special holding smart contract or special wallet. No, you come with your own wallet, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, whatever you have, and we're using the same security that exists over there in order to control your vaults, meaning that only you can get money in and out from your vault. And in other words, if you're losing the access to your to your MetaMask, we cannot recover you, right? We cannot get into your vault and take your money out because it's self-custody. And basically by doing it like that, everybody have a self-custody and they can basically buy from other people as well token. And if you don't have yet a vault, it automatically will open a vault for you. Now, every token behind the Dumper Shield, it's not seen on CoinGecko, right? Meaning, or CoinMarketCap, meaning that when you're looking on circulation supply, token that they're under vesting, they're not included in the circulation supply. So theoretically, if a project go to the market and basically put everybody behind the Dumper Shield, founder, team, advisor, Haley, investors, KOL, everybody, that means that when you go to the market, you have a zero circulation. There is no token in the market to dump. You're starting the market with zero selling pressure, right? And once people go to the Dumper Shield in order to make an order, what the gateway is doing is basically take from those order, the check who is in the order book is the bigger dumper, right? Who is offering the biggest dump? A second, let me remove some of my pop-ups that will not bother me. Otherwise, it will not stop.
Who is offering the lowest price to market?
Yeah, who is willing to offer the, so let's say you have two people, one is say, I'm willing to sell my token at the market price. Let's say the market price is $1. and user B say, I'm in a rush, I'm offering 90 cents on the dollar, meaning 10% discount. So the gateway will go to whoever is the most risk person to the project, to the token, meaning the guy that's offering a discount. And it will take his token, like a flash loan, and basically it will drive it to Uniswap or PancakeSwap. Actually, it goes through Degen. So you will find wherever there is liquidity out there in the world, and it will basically sell it at the market price, which is $1.
Degen is one of, excuse me, Yoda. Degen is one of Yoda's other projects called Degen Swap, which is our DEX aggregator. And that's a different conversation than today.
Right.
Anyways.
So basically, the gateway will try to sell the token at the market price, whatever the market is, and to pay back to the user the 90 cents that he asked for, not the door, because he asked 90, so you will get 90. And then the rest of the spread stay as the profit of the gateway, and we'll talk about it in a second where that goes. Now, what that means is that if somebody hearing what I'm saying right now is scratching his head and say, just a second, if the gateway take the token to the market, like the real market, the secondary market, DEX, like Uniswap, what's the difference between the user doing it and the gateway is doing it? If the token go to the market, it's the same thing, it's dumping. And the answer is that if somebody buying a token for 1 cent, and you give him the token to his wallet free and clear, and then set him, go to Uniswap, and let's say you want to sell, he will sell at any price between 1 cent to $1 because even 50% discount is still a profit for him. So if there is competition and he's in a rush, he will dump the price just to cash out anything that he can, but he will hurt the price and the liquidity and everybody else in the community. Now, when the gateway is doing it, he's doing it in a smart way. What he's doing is go to the price, checking how much appreciation the price has yesterday versus today. So let's say the price yesterday was $1, and let's say today it's been appreciated to be $10, 10% appreciation. So the gateway can sell enough tokens from the dumper shield, but it can only reduce the price in the market no more than 50% over yesterday, meaning that the maximum dump that the price will see is $0.05 and not $1, meaning that it's still going to be appreciated. So when people going to look on the chart, they don't know that there was a sale here, right? And how much. All they'll see is keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. They don't know that as you're going up, you take a bite in order to reduce sale pressure from early investors. So you're never going to have these clams that everything crashing down because you're taking bite on the way up and not on the way down. So it's a different approach. And by doing it like that, basically you're actually driving liquidity from decentralized exchanges, but in a way that cannot allow the user to go freely to there and dump the price and hurt everybody else. Now you need to understand that when project has holders, some of them short holders, flippers, hedge fund, some of them holder for long term or big bag. They have a lot of tokens. So if somebody invests $100,000 and now his token become to be 10 million, it cannot compete with a snowball that small fish dumping $100 here, $50 over there, $1,000 over here, and they're selling at any price, doesn't matter what. Because they can crash the price and he has a 10 million. So how he can even exit? He will be so panicking that he will try to get 5 million or 4 million for the 10 million just to get something. And this guy can take the market down completely. That's it. It will be a game over for the project. So basically, there is a conflict between everybody, and since nobody knows what somebody else will do, everybody's staying tight, and they need to wake up something during the bear market or bull market. They need to wake up during the night to check the chart, what's going on, because they have holding and they don't want to wake up in the morning to a nightmare. And that's not how stuff's supposed to be. So the dumper shield is supposed to protect every one of us from dumping. But on the same time, it's supposed to give the freedom for all of us to exit anytime we want. So theoretically, it's a vesting, but it's also not a vesting. So it's both. You are vesting and you are not vesting on the same time. You have token vesting for 12 months, for example, but you may be in the market tomorrow morning if there is liquidity and the market can afford it.
Yoda, when you said that the gives you the freedom for to sell anytime you want, are you talking about through the OTC marketplace?
So when you're selling on OTC, it's also the gateway take the token to the market. It's the same thing. You don't go to the gateway and say, I want to sell. You're just listing on the OTC, and the gateway will take the token to the market by the order that I said. The dumper first, the higher dumper go first, right? Like order book. Now, since it's both, it's vesting and not vesting simultaneously, right? It's allow you to basically go to the market faster. So if we're looking on this chart, right, that this company built, right, and we're looking on what they build over here, this nice color stuff, right? You do understand that somehow in the middle here, they had a nice claiming. You see this claiming 10x? So if they build it in a way that they will not do it over time, but they will do it as the claiming up, then they will be able to reduce a lot of the selling pressure. And then if the market go down, naturally, they say, okay, there was no appreciation today. The gateway cannot drive liquidity to the market, a token to the market. We will wait for tomorrow. So by doing it like that, there is no chart that's ever going to look like that again. And that's the purpose of the dumper shield. Now, obviously, people behind the dumper shield have a free will. If they're thinking that the project is wrong and the vesting for 12 months should be 1 day, they can wave the shield. They can vote and say, we all want to go cuckoo, race to the bottom, and see who has the fast fingers to beat everybody else. If they're thinking that it's okay to trash the token to the ground, what you can do, it's their free will, all right? On the other side,
And when
if
you
they're
say this,
thinking-
Yoda, you're saying that there's a DAO that has the ability to vote to take the shield down, and that vote is one token for one vote.
right?
So if it still needs to be majority consensus, where when that happens, and what our experience has been,
right.
that potentially the small people may just want to get out, but the bigger investors realize that if the dumper shield comes down, it's going to wreck the project. And so it's the larger investors that are more inclined to say, no, let's keep the shield up and let the technology work as
Sure,
designed.
exactly.
And then if you'd like to sell, you can use the OTC marketplace and you can sell your bag OTC. Otherwise, we're going to keep the shield up and protect the community.
Right. So if somebody has probably a small bag like $1,000, $500, he don't care about all those stuff because there is enough liquidity for him. He made, let's say, 2x. It's okay to sell the $1,000 for even $1,500 and crash the price. As long as he has his profit to pay the rent somewhere, he's good to go. But if someone have $100,000 or $1 million and become to be $10 million, he cannot sell. Maybe he doesn't even want to sell, right? So we give to the people the freedom to vote what's good for them, and it's go by how many tokens you have. So obviously those that have more to lose have more weight to vote, okay? Now, that being said, those that are not happy and they want out, they can use the OTC and they can use the gateway to interact with Uniswap or PancakeSwap instantly. So they're not really undervesting. They can go out instantly. It's just how much discount they're willing to do, how much basically dumping they're willing to give. And it's better for them to do the dumping through the dumper shield and not actually take the token market down completely because of them. So that's the idea. Now, what project do when project joining to the dumper shield, because it's permissionless, every project can join to the dumper shield, and there is no cost to join to the dumper shield. And when project adding is talking to the dumper shield, not only that you're enjoying from giving the people self-custody and you have reducing selling pressure, but it's also going to be in the position that you can set the first rule. You can say, I will let people to basically vote, but I want to whoever propose a vote will have at least 1% or 2% of voting right, and not everybody with one token can vote. So project can set kind of a basic rule who can suggest a voting. It can also suggest how many voting need to pass in order to pass a new suggestion. You can do that as well. But once it's been given to people, they have the right to vote and change that. Beside the flexible, that I say, flexibility and everything and self-custody, the dumper shield also supporting on ability to, if you want to take a token and spread it to 10,000 or 1 million users by click of a button, you can do it for free. There is no exposure, like I said, because it's piggybacking on your own security of your own MetaMask. Now, let's talk about classes and positions because it's very important to understand that part. Right now, when projects go to the market, you can see here from this project, when they basically build their own tokenomic, they build here classes. Seed is one class, they have different vesting. Private, different class, different vesting. IO, public, there is advisor. Look how many classes they have, okay? So basically, what we created is also unlimited classes. So you can create as many classes that you like. You can say first class will be those that buying private sale. Second class will be public sale. Third class will be maybe those that got token for free as an airdrop. Fourth maybe will be advisor, stuff like that. So you can do classes. Now, beside the classes that each one of them can have different vesting terms, there is also positions, right, for the gateway. What does that mean? That means that when you go to the Dumper Shield, let's say you have people listing on the OTC from first position, and you see that they want out, they want to sell. So when the gateway driving liquidity or driving token to the secondary market in order to bring liquidity, it will start with the first position users. So if I will go, for example, let me log in here for a second for the Dumper Shield, right? So if I will go to the Dumper Shield and look on Smart, you will see that right now there is 1.3% of Smart holders that sell it, right? Not 100%, not 90%, not 50%, 1.3. Now, if I will release those 1.3 to the market, even though they're only 1.3%, they will crush the market. And the other 99 people, 98 people will suffer, okay? So those people can sell whatever they want at any price that they like. And it's very easy, by the way, to set up a listing. You can come over here and set your listing, what you want to sell, what price you want to take, what token you want to receive. We even integrated stablecoin, so you can basically choose which one you want. And then once you have that, what that means is that the rest of the people, if they are not listing, the gateway will pass to the second class, meaning that you only need to satisfy this 1.3%. And then once there is no more from the first class people want to sell, you're moving to the second position class and now working with them. And when they're not selling anymore, is moving to the third. So probably you're going to see the gateway all the time going first, second, third, first, fifth, one, second, third, fourth, fifth. We all the time will go like that, okay? But on this order. Now, why we created this order? It's very simple. Those that buying tokens pay for that. And they're coming, I mean, every project can set its own classes and idea, but we as a Quantum Foundation put those that buying the token from the project directly on the first position. Those that relocating, as I mentioned before, from other projects, and we allow them to, by click of a button, to teleport their holding, same face value to different projects, they will be able to teleport as a second position. So they are second to the first, they don't hoarding liquidity that come for the first position. Those that coming from the market, like from Quantum Foundation investors, they will come at a zero position. So they're even different and they have different liquidity than the first position. So everybody has his own liquidity stream without hurting somebody else. When you're looking on those that got token for free, airdrop, we're putting them third position. So all the airdrop that we'll do for free, they will come and get those tokens behind the Dumper Shield as a third position, meaning that first people that bought it or relocate, teleport from other projects will be first, second. And those that got it for free and never paid for that, which potentially put them as the higher dumper ever, they will be third position. So now that you understand those rules, let's see what else we can cover here about the Dumper Shield besides the self-custody. Let's talk about the airdrop that we're going to do. So basically, the Dumper Shield, you remember I told you that it has the potential to be one of the biggest exchanges, not the most, right? So you need to understand that when you have today centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges, they're all serving or facilitating transaction between vested token, those that are already free and clear in the market. Now, the majority of every project tokens is not free and clear. When project go live in the first year or maybe in the first 2 years, there is the team and advisory and early stage and pre-sale and public sale and reserve. And there is a bunch of tokens that they are not in the market yet. And those are basically the vesting token. So the Dumper Shield designed for those. It's designed for vesting token. Even though we upgrade ourselves to support recently, we're going to support also OTC for vested token. So it will allow both. But basically, it's designed for vesting token. And what that means is that when you go to Binance or you go to Uniswap, where they're charging 0.1%, 0.3%, you can see that they're making zillion billion profit from those 0.1% or 0.3%, right? OTC making much more. OTC not only serving much more supply than all other exchanges, but it's also charging 2.5% from each side. So it's 5%, okay? Not 0.1%, 5%. What we do with this 5%, like we do always, is 20% go to Quantum Foundation to pay basically for the licensing of the technology. And the 80%, not 5%, not 50%, 80% of the income stream that's coming from the business will be used to buy the token from the market, the Shield token that is representing this marketplace, and to remove it from the circulation. So it's like double down. Not only that we buy the token and increase that every time there's transaction going on, but also we're removing it from the circulation, so reducing the supply. So whoever holding Shield token basically have appreciation ongoing like it was a royalty, digital royalty or correlated business model that driving appreciation to the token directly from the business and not speculation. It's not like Uniswap have a token, Uni token, and a $1 billion income stream marketplace, but there is no correlation between the two. People buy and sell Uni, but if they will took that $1 billion and instead of give to LP cash, they will buy the token and burn it from the circulation and give them Uni token, then Uni token will be phenomenal, right? By the way, every time I say something about Uniswap, smart, extension stuff, eventually they come ask me question, and then after a few months I see them launching something similar. I will not be surprised if they will not come with this next. All right. So the next thing to understand about the Dumper Shield is the airdrop that I mentioned. So we mentioned that OTC fees go and buy the token and basically acting as a royalty, right? But you remember I told you that the gateway making a spread, right? If user want to sell 10% below the market, and usually people behind the Dumper Shield will sell even by far more than 10%. Think about it. If you have a token and it's locked for a year or two, you don't know if a year or two there will be a market. You don't know that. You're thinking that the market will be gone in half a year, maybe. So what you do, you say, okay, I've done 100x. Who want to pay me 70x? 70 cents on the dollar. Just buy me out, right? So there will be a lot of people that will be afraid that the market will crash at the time of the vesting is over. And therefore, they will offer deep discount. And it's reasonable to understand that. So what the gateway will do, like a whale or VCs that will come over here, and this is the only place, by the way, that you can find blue chip token below the market. If you have any token in the market and you want to buy below the market, the only way to buy it from those that they cannot sell, meaning OTC of vesting tokens. Like to buy stock from developer before IPO of Facebook go live, right? So that's the only way where whale and VCs and big patient people, smart money will come to buy. But also you need to understand that the gateway, when it will drive the user that want to offer 90 cents on the dollar, which is 10% discount, the gateway will keep the 10% profit, right? Because he's selling it, give him what he asked for, and keep the 10%. So it's not 0.1%. It's not 0.3%. It's not only the 5% from OTC that will charge. It's also on top of that is the spread that can be sometimes 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. So you're talking about phenomenal amount of income stream that will come to that business more than probably Uniswap and Binance combined. And the point is that what we do with that spread, and the answer is airdrop, meaning that whoever holding the Shield token on Smart Exchange Vault will get airdrop without doing marketing, without doing tweet, without doing coin referral a friend, without nothing. Just hold the Shield like self-custody subscription model that you're holding the Shield in a passive way. You don't need to do anything. And every time there is a gateway working, this spread going pro rata between everybody that holding nonstop. So doesn't matter which project we'll have here. We'll have here many projects. And what will happen every time they're doing transaction of gateway, meaning go to the market, we're capturing that spread, and people will start to get many airdrop for many tokens without doing anything. Just
Jordan,
from
let me clarify
shield.
let me clarify a few things. So the gateway is essentially an order book, and so when people see
The gateway is not the order book, but it's go by the order book.
it goes by the order book. And so when people realize and see that the token price is appreciating a little bit every day, but if there's a lot of people that want to sell the tokens, and so it's the lowest priced order, the gateway is going to sell whoever puts the token at the lowest price first. And so that's why you're going to end up having people kind of racing to get the tokens out, that they're going to be discounting it significantly to the marketplace to try and get out. And then the gateway is going to take that spread and that profit, and you say it's going to airdrop that to the community. I know what we have talked about is what are we going to do with that token and that airdrop? Are we going to convert that to Ethereum and then just drop Ethereum to the community, or are we going to take the token that from the project and deliver that to the community? So I believe that was not resolved yet. Have you resolved
So
mind?
yeah, so the best approach is to basically airdrop to people. I still thinking about it. We may going to do half and half, maybe. Maybe we'll take some of the token. Let's say user want to sell his token, and we may convert what he asked for, the 90%, and maybe we'll convert a little bit 5 to Ethereum, and then we have 5% of the token, 5% of Ethereum, and we'll airdrop both. Because I think a lot of user will be happy if they get a lot of airdrop, not just from the token, but also USDT and stable and coin like Polygon and ETH and BNB and so forth. So we will work around it to do whatever is best for the user. That's not a problem. All we need to do is again using Degen in order to facilitate that. So user, it's not a problem. We'll solve that. But what
another question is the token, the airdrops do not come directly into your MetaMask wallet. You have to hold your Shield tokens in the Smart Vault in order to receive the airdrops. Otherwise, the gas would kill us.
The smart extension, the Smart Vault, is basically your MetaMask. It's the same thing. Instead of holding token in your MetaMask that do nothing, at least in the Smart, they're basically generating expedite fee, they're generating free APY, free airdrop. So you basically put the money to work in a way that passively it's bringing you income stream. And whoever have a Shield on Smart Exchange Vault, just from holding it, it will continue to generate basically ongoing unlimited airdrop from every project that's coming through the gate of the Dumper Shield. And if just for you to understand something, I will say very quickly, probably you saw it in the group, what is our strategy for Dumper Shield? Because we're not going to do marketing for Dumper Shield because it's a B2B. What we're going to do is a lot of business development. Marketing we're going to do only for NFT protection and Smart because they are B2C. But for Dumper Shield, we have Dumper Shield, we have 3 other projects that are B2B like LP, IBO, and PDO. So those are the 4 that are designed for project. What a strategy to the market will be is that we're going after every listing manager that exists on centralized exchanges, that they engage in with project all day long and talk with them anywhere. And we're going to say them, hey, help your project to raise money, help your project to have better go to the market, help your project to with liquidity or Dumper Shield and so forth. And not only that you will help them and increase your engagement with them because you're helping them, but also will reward you up to $40,000 for every project that you're lending on those basically platforms that we have. So we don't changing people work. We're basically helping them to make more money and help the project to reduce risk and make more money. So right now, we conduct day before yesterday an AMA for the first group. Our goal is to have an army of 100 listing managers, which we'll have during this month. And the goal is when we open in April, those platforms, we want to land hundreds of projects on Dumper Shield and PDO and LP Insurance and IBO. And by doing it, they will bring their own user to use it. And that will basically cause everything to boom, right? We don't need to do Cointelegraph. If they want to cover, that's fine, but we're not going to pay them anything to cover Dumper Shield. We're going directly to the project and help the project to do better, and they will bring their own users. So
just to clarify and answer Banty's question though, Banksy was asking whether you're going to get the tokens directly into your MetaMask. Yes. What we're doing is a layer 2, so it would just be a layer on top of your existing MetaMask using the same self-custody security, so we never have access. But with any tokens you hold actively, you will see them block by block if you really come into your wallet. That's correct, right, Yoda?
Yeah, so it's, the token, you have the security of MetaMask, but it's a vault. It's self-custody vault on Smart Exchange. So basically, you control the vault with your MetaMask. It's coming over there. The airdrop coming over there. Wherever the shield is, they're coming over there.
And then
If you're
Yoda,
holding your shield, if you're holding the shield on your MetaMask and not in the Smart Exchange vault, right, then you will not get airdrop.
right. Okay, I understand that, Yoda. So, and then you said the listing managers can make up to $40,000.
Right.
Basically, you're going to be giving them a percentage of the
They get percentage from the fees, and they have a cap up to $10,000 per marketplace, like IDO, PDO, and so forth.
I understand.
And
So they get so that we're not just writing checks. People are going to earn fees. If
no,
the
we
project-
basically do exactly what's happened today. They get commission from centralized exchange every time they're lending a project. So we do the same. We say, let me help you to increase your engagement rate and your closing rate and also make more money. And as you do that, helping to the project. By the way, I didn't mention that because it's still under process, but we allocate shield token for grants, meaning that when project will come to the Dumper Shield in order to use it as a smart vesting, we're going to give them, at least in the beginning, we're going to give them grant, 50,000, 10,000, 20,000, depending on the project. So we will lend. Can you imagine to your project, you need vesting, I give you a vesting, smart vesting for free, and reducing your selling pressure, and you get grant as you're doing it, and I give your user also airdrop. So it's really going to boom out of the water. It's probably going to be one of the biggest profitable project that we ever made.
Okay, let's hope that's the case. So let's continue on with EMA.
All right, what other question do we have?
Well, one of the questions someone asked is that you said that if someone's got their tokens behind the Dumper Shield and they are trying to sell the token on the OTC marketplace, do they have to choose whether to put the token on the OTC or in the gateway, or can they
You
have
don't
it
put on the
both?
gateway anything. You cannot put on the gateway anything. You just list, and the gateway is like a user. You come into the order book like a user and pick up the best deal.
So you list on the OTC, and then
That's it.
the gateway sees your token on the OTC, and
Right.
it pulls it off there. So at that same time, your token can be sold either by the gateway can buy it from you, or another user can buy it from you.
You don't even know. You will not know. You will
You
see.
will not know.
You got it. You got BNB. You don't. By the way, we just added it protocol a few hours ago. So we launched it on it as a mainnet to test it. So right now we're covering all those chain, and we'll continue to add more. And yeah, you don't going to know. You're going to list the token. You're going to say I'm willing to sell 70 cents on the dollar, 80 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar, 90 cents on the dollar, whatever you want. And then either a user will buy it or the gateway will buy it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, Yoda. So it was a great AMA, and it looks like that you've really made some changes to the the software here, to the user interface.
There is more to come, but we'll basically keep adding more and more every time.
And so is our gateway working right now?
No, not yet. It will be ready to go in April.
Okay, so before you launch this project, the gateway will be working. Before you launch any project, because the Dumper Shield is an integral part of
Yeah, we planned the Dumper Shield, by the way, for ourselves, for our own project. We didn't plan it to be a standalone project, by the way. We planned for our own use for our own go-to-market. But then we realized that it's bigger than what we thought. It can actually be bigger than anything that we thought. And that's why it's become to be a standalone project. Obviously, those that invest in PDO, which originally Dumper Shield was under that, will be get an airdrop equal 1-to-1 token. So they automatically will be holding the Dumper Shield token as well without even reinvesting. And the money, like we said, that will raise from the Dumper Shield, we will use it in order to do marketing for smart and NFT protection, which they are the both B2C, and they're both going to create a lot of traction and voice and in the market. And we're going to utilize that in order to piggyback in for all other projects that we have.
And so to be clear, Yoda, the intention right now is to raise funds to do some marketing for some of the B2C projects. And currently we have not sold any tokens for the DumpShield, but you will be airdropping some of these tokens to the people that invested in the PDO, because it used to be part of that project. And since you spun off the technology, it's only reasonable to reward those people that invested. But those tokens will be, since they're not being bought at this point, they're being airdropped, they're going to be in second position. And so if you do raise funds through the Launchpad or through private sales, those tokens will be in the first position and be the first to engage with liquidity until people decide to stop selling before we move on to the holders from the DumpShield, from the PDO. Their tokens would be in second position. They can still sell through the OTC, but they will not enjoy liquidity through the gateway while they're in second position until the first position tokens have been exhausted. And then anyone that moves from another project into this project through the router, they would be in the third position. Do I have that right?
Yes. No. Whoever moving from the router will be second position, always second position.
Okay. So they'll be in the same position as the PDO.
By the way, each project that will utilize the DumpShield can come up with its own idea. It doesn't have to do second position, it doesn't have to do anything, it doesn't even have to do 50% from the gateway. It can say to the gateway, take only 10% every time the market appreciates, or 100%. Every project can set its own rule. We set 50% or up to 50% to make sure that even in the worst case scenario, when everybody wants liquidity, it will not go down. Worst case scenario will go sideways.
So projects are going to have the ability to do whatever their original vesting schedule was. They can come to the DumpShield. They will offer their people who are vested an opportunity to have an OTC marketplace so that the vested tokens holders can trade back and forth on a decentralized OTC. And then if they want to use the gateway to help reduce the pressure, so that as those vesting dates start coming up, people that use traditional vesting model and say that the tokens start getting released every month, to reduce.
Instead of every month, it will release every second.
Release every second.
If the market can take it, every second more token instead of waiting 12 months.
But if they have a traditional model and the tokens are scheduled to go out on a monthly basis, they will have less pressure because they'll also turn on the gateway so that as the depreciation, they can reduce it. So at the end of the month, when that vesting, those tokens are released to the market, some of them have already been sold through the gateway, and so there's less pressure. Plus, some of those people are able to get out.
So you're selling on the way up and not on the way down. You're selling,
right. And some of the users can also, through the OTC, have an opportunity to get out early, not have to wait for their tokens to be vested. Okay, right. So it's a great solution in the marketplace, and hopefully people will recognize that, and then holding the DumpShield token is going to really be encouraged to hodl that token, because you're going to earn the airdrops from the spread that the DumpShield is making. And then every time there's transaction on the OTC, the 5% fee, 2 from the buy, 2 from the sell side, will be used to buy back and burn the token, which will cause the token price to go up. So a lot of great new dynamics at work here. It's an exciting project, and looking forward to getting this one to the marketplace.
Yep. And we'll keep updating the group every time stuff coming as the news. We'll keep updating the news that we have every time.
Okay. There is another question here, and I'm trying to understand what he's asking, so I'm just going to read it to you, and maybe you can dissect it. He says, the DumpShield essentially benefits from arbitrage opportunities, which it does, but for this, it needs liquidity. Where does this liquidity come from? Or is it back-to-back transactions, in which case, why can't the seller sell the tokens without the DumpShield?
Right. So every project that go live, I don't know if every project going centralized exchange or maybe one centralized exchange versus many, but for sure they're all utilizing pools on Uniswap, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, and all those decentralized exchange AMA protocol. So the dumper shell is not working with centralized exchange unless there is aggregator that's working with centralized exchange, so it can work through that. But it's decentralized, so it's going to decentralized protocol, like let's say Uniswap. And if there is liquidity on Uniswap, let's say somebody launching a token on Uniswap and there is a zero sell pressure, meaning nobody have a token to sell, but people can only buy. Now, nobody in the world ever launch a project with zero selling pressure. We're going to be the first one ever, by the way, to do so. So when you have a project go to the market and you don't have anyone that's holding a token to sell, the token can either stay still because nobody interested, or you have one way to go, which is up. Only one way, right? Now, even if everybody that buying want to sell, it can go back to exactly the same place that it was. That's the rule of AMA. It cannot go below the launching price because nobody add new token to the market. So the way that the marketplaces work is to try to not causing people to get panic. It's like, think about it like the government when there's 9/11. What the first thing that they do? Shutting the banks, limit the ATM, shut down the stock market. Why? Because psychology is above marketing and above technology. Psychology, what people think that may happen, become reality because everybody start to follow that. So they try to manipulate wash trading. People doing wash trading. Why? Because they want to think that there is liquidity, and then liquidity keep coming, and then it become reality. So when you have a token with zero selling pressure and you launch it to the market, you will have people buying, and people will see it's going up, 5%, 5x, 10x, 100x. Suddenly 100x, it hits the news on Cointelegraph, it's become to be 1000x. Suddenly everybody say, oh my God, it's about to crash, what's going on? And then people understand that it's going down from 1000x to maybe 700, and then it's pumping up again because there is not enough selling pressure in the market. By doing it like that, you basically can create new narrative. You can bring to the market slowly as you go up. Every time you go up, you take a bite a little bit and driving it behind the dumper shield, reducing selling pressure. Can you imagine projects start with zero selling pressure and going up 100x or 1000x, and even before 100x, there is no people behind the dumper shield. Everybody already out. By the way, just to be clear, let's make that I'm clear about that. You don't need a dumper shield once you graduate. Projects that graduate, projects that have $1 million daily trading, it doesn't need dumper shield anymore. It's like how do you say when you have a bike and you need those
Training wheels. Your training wheels.
right? It's a training wheels. All the schedule vesting concept is supposed to help you to delay basically selling pressure as a training wheel until you will graduate. So if you graduate and you have $1 million daily trading, everybody can sell for free. Nobody worried because probably there is more buy pressure than sell pressure, right? So until you will graduate, you have to basically delay selling pressure. The problem in the market that everybody tried to fix that delay without taking under consideration Murphy law. They don't take under consideration black swan event. They don't take under consideration what they don't know that they don't know. So you cannot predict the future. You have to stay dynamically and let the market to basically move token to the market either faster because it's ready or slower because it's not ready. And as you do that, that's the way to go to the market. And that's the way to design psychology, which is better than marketing and technology combined.
Okay, Yod, I think that's a great way to end the AMA. So let's wrap this one up. We're going to use this video to help educate some of our communities and some of the launch pads that we are engaged with, and some of the groups that we're engaged with to do some private sales. So the goal is to get this project launched. Yoda's intention right now is to launch SmartSwap and our NFT.
It's no longer a SmartSwap. It's no longer a cost chain. It's no longer in pivot to something else, which is
it's a different conversation. But we have two other projects that we're planning on launching first. Before we launch this project, we can have our B2C.
Yeah, we'll start with the B2C because it will bring us the massive attention, which is NFT protection and smart. and then we'll follow by the Dumper Shield. And then
Okay.
after that, we'll keep follow.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Yoda. And
All right.
and if anyone has more questions, we can follow up in the general chat or the AMA chat for a Smart, which is our main chat. Okay,
All
thank
right.
you. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. So we'll do another AMA down the road with the team that will explain what's the goal, what's the progress and everything. But that was an introduction to Dumper Shield. So thank you very much for hosting that, and see you next time.